Have you ever wondered why Centennial Hills is one of the most highly sought after neighborhoods in Las Vegas? Well, I'm gonna uncover some of the reasons why the residents really love living here. And if you have any interest in the outdoors, make sure you watch until the end. Centennial Hills at one point in Las Vegas history was as far north from the Vegas lifestyle as you could get. And it really lent itself to a community feeling of people wanting to live in Las Vegas, but being a little bit further out from the Las Vegas Strip. One of the areas that I really love in Centennial Hills is the Lone Mountain Rural Preservation Area. And that means that you're not going to see high density in this community. No condos, no apartments, and many of the properties are on half-acre lots or more. And then if you love natural, growing things yourself, you're going to find that Gilchrist Orchard in Centennial Hills is someplace that you can go pick your own fruit, pick your own vegetables, and even grab some local honey. So the lifestyle of living in Centennial Hills, you're really going to love. Some of the other amenities that you'll find is just a plethora of shopping, like Trader Joe's, Sprouts, Home Depot, Lowe's, all of those bigger chain stores you're going to find. You're also going to have access to some really great local restaurants. I mean, there is a lot of your typical fast food restaurants, but the local spots are the ones that really have my heart. So you're gonna find Nataya's, which is a Thai food place, Coffee Religion, and then I hear from a little birdie that there's also going to be a second Lynetta Mexican restaurant opening up in Centennial Hills. So you're really going to love all of the amenities that you have access to in Centennial Hills. What amenities do you value the most that you can walk to from your home? Let me know in the comments below. Schools are always a big one whenever making a move. So Centennial Hills is home to a lot of public schools, but also quite a few charter schools which are accessible through a lottery system. So they do not have to follow the CCSD guidelines as far as their education. It's a little bit more up to them what they want to teach. There are also some smaller private schools in Centennial Hills. Most of them are a religious-based school. And then you also have what in Vegas is called magnet schools. So there's a middle school that you can go to that actually starts teaching middle schoolers about the law. So if your child has a specific interest in one area or another, you possibly could find a magnet school for them as well. So school options, there are a lot in Centennial Hills. One other thing about education in the Centennial Hills area is we have a library, which that's where you go and there's these things called books that have pages and you can actually check them out. And right next to the library is the Centennial Hills YMCA. So if your kids want to do swim lessons or just be at the pool or take any other classes that are associated with the YMCA, you're going to have access to that if you live in Centennial Hills. If you're new to my channel, I'm Eileen Guilbeault, your go-to real estate advisor for all things relocation and Las Vegas. And if you haven't yet subscribed, remember to hit like, subscribe, and ring the bell for notifications so you never miss a video about what it's actually like to live in Las Vegas. Your housing options are really going to vary. You're going to have everything from condos to sprawling estates, and even one of the areas in Las Vegas where you will be able to own horse property. And that means either that you actually can have horses on the property, or because it was previously zoned horse property, you're going to have access to a much larger lot than you would in other areas of town. This is also an area where you're going to find a lot of the new builders who are building RV garages, and they're on half-acre lots or larger. And there's also sections that are still building custom homes. And you're not gonna find a ton of new build construction in Centennial Hills simply because it's been around for quite some time, so most of the land is taken up. But you will find areas where you can still buy new home construction if that's something that interests you. It's time for a pop quiz. Let's see how well you know why people love calling Centennial Hills home. You can buy horse property in Centennial Hills. True or false? The first person to answer correctly gets a personal shout out from me. When it comes to transportation, you're going to find that Centennial Hills is roughly 16 miles from the Strip corridor. So you really are far enough away to not be in the middle of what's happening in Vegas, but close enough that if you work there, it's not going to take you a ton of time to get there. You also have access to US 95, which is, I believe, being renamed I-11. And you have access to the 215 Beltway that kind of wraps you around the city. The other really great thing about where you're located is that if you work at Creech Air Force Base or Nellis Air Force Base, you really are kind of centrally located to where you can get to both bases. And if you're going to Creech, there's an area there from the Regional Transportation Center that has a park and ride where you can actually park your car and ride on a bus to Creech Air Force Base. You're going to love the access that you have to all the different freeways to get where you need to go. And the moment you've been waiting for, all of the outdoor activity that you can do in Centennial Hills. If you love to bike, you can actually bike from the Centennial Hills area all the way to Mount Charleston. I'm not brave enough for that, but you could do it. The other thing that you can do outdoors is at Floyd Lamb Park, where there are BMX bike pump tracks. You can ride your horse on trails in that park. You can also fish. There's a lot of things at Floyd Lamb that you can do that you're really going to love. And my absolute favorite thing to do in Centennial Hills as far as hiking goes is hiking Lone Mountain. It has one of the most amazing views of the entire city, including the Las Vegas Strip, that you will find. So if you love to hike, check that one out. For more information about relocating to Las Vegas and real estate tips, make sure to check out one of the videos on the screen. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.